month to month to month to month. You know, this lady took over this position, you know, less than a year ago. And far as I'm concerned, in my year and a half here, it's, you know, I'm proud of what she's accomplished. You know, and to ridicule somebody in the press, if you have a question with a person, you should have the board chairman talk to him, let him talk to you. No one has any right, I don't think, to go to the press on their own. This is a 10-member board, and we need to act as a 10-member board. Do not go one-on-one with anybody. I think you're wrong on that. This isn't the first time you've done it. And, you know, and you have no right to do that. During the forensic audit, and this is back in March or April, you took it on yourself to ask our auditors to go further on than what the board said. I think there's an $8,000 charge, and I think you made the statement then that, yeah, you're sorry, you'll pay that $8,000. Now, I don't know if that $8,000 just came into the treasurer's fund or not. You had no right to do that. Not as one person. If the board instructed you to do it, like that, that's fine, but one person can't do it. One can't.
You mean like one person voting to spend $30,000 for a squad car?
That's not the topic of
Was that money?
That's the topic.
That money was appropriated to the
No, it
police.
wasn't the issue whether or not it was budgeted.
The point is,
One person
this
can't make
board,
that decision.
this entire board voted not to continue on with the investigation of the sheriff's department as far as the finances, and Ted, after the board voted not to do this, Ted took it upon himself to do it. This stuff has got to stop. It's just like you guys going to the media all the
You
time
guys, I hear what you're saying.
this, and this.
What you're telling me right now is the same thing I argued last month. Procedures, what you're arguing. And that's what I'm arguing. Procedures.
Procedure is, you give the sheriff a budget, the sheriff follows that budget.
Wasn't on his
And the sheriff does a heck of a job on that budget.
I never said the sheriff did anything wrong. I specifically said, did I not, Sheriff, last month, you didn't do anything wrong. Your office did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Then what's the issue?
Why did
Procedure.
you apologize how many times last meeting saying, oh, I'm sorry I did that, I'm sorry I did that, you know, I'm sorry I did that, if it wasn't wrong.
I have no idea why Jeff would apologize for something like that.
I don't think
I
for a
would probably
second
put
that-
you all in your place,
I don't think for a second
but without respect.
Respect for what? If you respected the rules, you wouldn't have done that. You'd have let the board.
If we respected the rules, anytime anybody wants to use a courthouse yard, they come before this county board and ask permission. Not the Republican Party. The Republican Party said, we can do whatever we want.
Oh,
But you guys are making this all
You're sitting
political.
there delaying 30 days appointment of a treasurer that the Republicans have an obligation to put a name forward. He's doing that, not us. Well, he's doing that.
Well, why not?
Well,
60 to hire somebody.
You know, you may
60 days by statute, Brian.
60 days.
Sure.
By statute, we have 60 days.
Within 60 days. Within 60 days.
Okay, everybody, I feel an obligation, maybe the county gets a little reprieve here, we get 2 months worth of pay, paychecks we don't have to write out, that's saving the county
About $8,000.
$8,000.
What about the fact that our revenue in the jail is down so much since we don't have to put county inmates, but nobody has cut the sheriff's budget in the jail?
Our
We just
revenue's
continue-
down, we just got $89,000.
For the year, it's down at least 10%, and then if we count what was carried forward, Jeff, it's probably more than that.
Is that jail paying for itself? Yes.
You guys come up with these numbers, Ted, and last month, after I put these numbers, you just turned around and came up to me and said, you came up to me and said, Dan, you were right on your numbers.
Okay, that's
The
enough.
jail
Sorry.
lost money the last 2 years combined. And we knew for the first time because the average
Dan,
looked
George
at it.
has the floor.
I don't want to argue and fight over this, but it kind of amazes me. I'm reading the statute that you gave us. That statute is written as a 60-day rule with the intent of giving the party that's going to make the appointment enough time to get a qualified candidate to fill the position. And yet you're using it against us. What is that?
You can present that candidate, it's my choice to bring that one forward or another one of the same party.
We presented.
The Republican Central Committee met and came up with a resolution putting forth a name.
Yes, I did. I asked to have it on the agenda today, and last week, Jeff said it won't be discussed for 60 days. Then he changed his mind, that said 30 days. You know, we have qualified a candidate. We're happy with our candidate. She's willing to work for it. You know, you think it's politics? You know, when I remember when the sheriff resigned, we had a new sheriff immediately. When Billy Elliott resigned, Donnie was appointed. There was no delay there because we don't control this board.
There was a delay there, let me tell you.
Yeah, it was a little bit delayed, but it wasn't on our part. It was some searching thing. We don't control this board, Gary. You guys control.
I know.
You have 60%. That's why the nursing home was sold for discount and everything else that was going on here. It's not us, it's you guys.
Ryan, I'm going to give you my recommendation that you send a candidate that's not running for office. This is what I did as precedent for the sheriff's race. I wouldn't accept any candidate.
No, I don't know if that's exactly the truth. So then, should Bev step down from her as a deputy?
Bev is a deputy. She's no different than Dave Staley being a deputy or anyone
He's
else.
not chief.
There's one person, Brian, there's one person in that office.
Mr. McHugh, I would ask you to present me a bill for the work that I asked to have done, which shed true light on how the jail's operating. It's certainly not $8,000 for the little amount of work they did. You present that to me and I'll be delighted to pay it. And just for the record, well, I don't get paid for coming to these meetings, Larry. I made a decision not to get paid.
That was your decision.
That was my decision, but if we're gonna start talking about, you know, putting the skin in the game, I don't collect stipends. I don't turn in mileage.
We're going way off, Ted, we're going way off.
Well, I just want to set the record straight. If I owe the county something, you let me know and I'll pay it. If I've done something wrong, Mr. Schroeder, I'll be more than happy to pay it. But it brought forth the truth.
This was news to me, but allegations, but, okay.
All I have to say.
Greg?
I want to go back and forth. Obviously, this is an ongoing discussion, but have you actually made a resolution about investigating the forensic audit on a more limited basis? That was kind of postponed from before.
We did at the finance committee meeting, what we decided, I think, is that I would go talk to the Glattery, and we will talk about your
Okay, so something's going.
scope, and we also talked about possibly 11 and 12 being a full audit. And we were going to get a price. Am I correct on that? Because I don't want to go talk to the Glattery and get a bill, Dan, and I'm owed something yet.
Excuse me, are we getting personal here? Maybe it should be a theft charge.
Personal. You made it
Maybe it
personal.
should be a theft charge.
You made it.
Gentlemen, that's enough for right now. Public, we're open to public comment now. Does anybody have public comment? We got 3 minutes. They have 3 minutes to make public comments about things that have been discussed on the agenda tonight. Barb?
Hi, Barbara Child. I just have a question for Phyllis, since we're going to be clustering and elected PC Mercer 1. Phyllis, were you in advance before the election, do you anticipate like having any type of like meeting with those election judges before the election, and like, will you have a list of who they're going to be?
Yeah, yeah. I think we'll bring them all in.
Okay.
All of the ones that we have, we'll train them all, because
Okay.
you never know when somebody's going to be sick or
Right.
whatever. So
Right.
we'll bring them all in and train them individually, because they're going to have, as a group, individually.
Right.
They're going to have different challenges.
So do you anticipate like having somebody there from your office the first hour or so to get off the ground?
Yeah, I'll probably be there, unless something else comes up.
Just when you know who the election judges are, if you could shoot me an email or something, I'd appreciate that, thank you.
You bet.
Jason?
And I may be incorrect in this, but every other time that the county has transferred sold property, they had a public hearing on it. And now maybe that was just on, maybe this was never taken to the voters of the county, but should this transfer the senior citizen center, should it have had a public hearing like all the rest of the properties that were sold?
It's statute by statute, like the hospital, we had to have a public hearing, but there's no senior citizen statute in the county code that says you have to have a hearing.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other public comment? Seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make that motion.
Thank you, Brad. Do I have a second? Second. We moved to second. All in favor, signify by signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.